Most men believe women want safety or attraction. They think if a woman feels safe, desire fades, and if desire appears, safety must be sacrificed. That belief is the reason most men fail with women long-term. Because women are not choosing between safety and attraction. They are searching for a man who can provide both at the same time. And that combination comes from one thing: masculine polarity. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Safety does not come from being nice. Attraction does not come from being intense. Both come from emotional structure. Women feel safe around men who are internally regulated. They feel attracted to men who are internally grounded. Most men confuse safety with softness. They become agreeable. They remove tension. They over-explain. They emotionally lean in. And without realizing it, they erase polarity. Safety without polarity becomes comfort. Comfort without polarity becomes neutrality. Neutrality kills desire. Other men swing to the opposite extreme. They try to create attraction through intensity. They push, they provoke, they rush escalation. That creates stimulation without safety. Stimulation without safety feels chaotic. Chaos does not sustain desire. Here's the truth most men never learned. Women don't feel safe around men who are emotionally unstable, and they don't feel attracted to men who are emotionally shapeless. They want grounded strength with emotional openness. That balance is rare. Safety is not created by reassurance. Attraction is not created by pressure. Both are created when a man is anchored in himself. Anchored men do not emotionally rise and fall based on a woman's reactions. Their mood does not depend on approval. Their confidence does not depend on certainty. That stability is felt immediately, and that feeling of stability is what women experience as safety. At the same time, anchored men do not collapse emotionally. They do not merge too quickly. They do not over-explain. They do not chase connection. That restraint preserves polarity. Another uncomfortable truth is this: women do not want to be emotionally managed. They want to feel free within structure. Structure comes from a man who governs himself. When a man is self-governed, his presence feels calm. Calmness allows her nervous system to relax. Relaxation allows desire to surface. Another truth most men misunderstand: safety does not kill attraction. Safety allows attraction to stay. Attraction dies when safety is missing. Attraction also dies when polarity collapses. Masculine polarity exists when a man is emotionally present but not emotionally dependent, warm without leaning, open without merging, available without chasing. Another uncomfortable truth is this: women feel safest around men who do not need them to feel okay. Dependency feels unstable. Self-regulation feels secure. And attraction only grows where security exists. Another truth: masculine polarity is not dominance, it is containment. Containment of emotion, containment of desire, containment of reaction. Men who contain themselves feel solid. Solid men feel safe. And safety combined with restraint creates desire. Another uncomfortable realization: most men try to create attraction by doing more talking, more explaining, more reassurance. All of that weakens polarity. Attraction grows when a man does less but stays grounded. Another truth: women feel safe when a man's boundaries are calm and consistent. They feel attracted when those boundaries are not negotiable under pressure. Another uncomfortable realization: masculine polarity disappears the moment a man tries to be everything. Supportive, understanding, always available, always agreeable. Polarity requires contrast. Another truth: women are drawn to men who can hold tension without resolving it immediately. Resolution seeking kills desire. Another uncomfortable realization: safety is not predictability of behavior, it is predictability of character. Character shows under pressure. Another truth: Women feel both safe and attracted when a man remains himself regardless of mood shifts, distance, or uncertainty. Not cold, not detached, just rooted. And once you understand this, everything becomes clear. You stop choosing between being safe or attractive. You stop performing masculinity. You stop trying to manage emotions. You become the man whose presence naturally creates both safety and desire. And that is where real masculine polarity begins. Once you understand that safety and attraction come from the same source, your behavior starts to change naturally. You stop trying to make her feel anything. And paradoxically, she starts feeling everything. Because women don't feel safe with men who try to manage their emotions. They feel safe with men who can contain their own. Containment is the core of masculine polarity. Containment does not mean suppression. It means you can feel emotion without being driven by it. You can feel desire without chasing it. You can feel uncertainty without reacting to it. That ability signals maturity. And maturity is deeply attractive. Another uncomfortable truth is this: women feel unsafe around men who emotionally spill. Spilling looks like oversharing too early. It looks like explaining feelings to reduce anxiety. It looks like needing reassurance to stay calm. All of that puts emotional weight on her, and emotional weight creates pressure. Pressure makes her pull back. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity requires emotional responsibility. You are responsible for your state. She is not. When a man expects a woman to regulate his emotions, polarity collapses. When a man regulates himself, polarity strengthens. Another uncomfortable realization is that many men confuse emotional openness with emotional dependence. Openness invites connection. Dependence creates burden. Women are drawn to openness. They retreat from burden. Another deep truth is that women feel safe when they know a man can handle their emotions without being overwhelmed. Not fixing them, not absorbing them, allowing them. Allowance creates trust. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction grows when a woman feels she can express herself without destabilizing you. If her sadness, excitement, or uncertainty changes your behavior, safety disappears. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity comes from self-trust. You trust your pace. You trust your standards. You trust your ability to walk away without resentment. That trust is felt instantly. Another uncomfortable realization is that safety is destroyed when a man emotionally negotiates. If I do this, will you stay? Negotiation signals insecurity. Insecurity feels unsafe. Another deep truth is that attraction deepens when a man is willing to disappoint. Disappointment does not kill desire. Self-betrayal does. Another uncomfortable realization is that women feel safest when a man's presence does not demand a response. No pressure to react, no pressure to reassure, no pressure to perform. That freedom allows desire to surface. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity is strongest when a man is emotionally centered even in closeness. Closeness tempts men to merge. Men who remain intact deepen attraction. Another uncomfortable realization is that safety does not come from availability. It comes from reliability of self. Reliability means you are the same man when things are easy and when they are uncertain. Another deep truth is that attraction grows when a woman senses that your life does not orbit her. Orbiting reverses polarity. Grounded independence restores it. Another uncomfortable realization is that men often lose polarity by over-validating. Validation can feel good, but too much validation removes contrast. Another deep truth is that women feel safest around men who can say no calmly. No without guilt, no without anger, no without explanation. That firmness feels secure. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity requires restraint. Restraint of words, restraint of emotion, restraint of reaction. Restraint is not weakness, it is control. Another deep truth is that attraction does not come from unpredictability. It comes from emotional steadiness paired with mystery. Another uncomfortable realization is that safety grows when a man allows space without withdrawing warmth. Cold distance feels rejecting. Warm space feels secure. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity exists when you can be emotionally present without being emotionally invested in outcome. Outcome investment creates pressure. Pressure kills desire. Another uncomfortable realization is that women feel safe when they know a man won't punish them emotionally. No guilt, no withdrawal, no silent resentment. Another deep truth is that attraction deepens when a woman feels free to choose. Choice fuels desire. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity is lost the moment a man tries to lock things down emotionally. Locking down signals fear. Another deep truth is that safety and attraction coexist when a man is comfortable with uncertainty. Uncertainty does not threaten him. Another uncomfortable realization is that women are drawn to men who can hold tension and tenderness at the same time. Firmness with warmth, structure with openness. Another deep truth is that this balance cannot be faked. It must be lived. And when it is lived, women don't think about safety or attraction separately. They simply feel calm and drawn at the same time, which is the exact state where desire becomes sustainable. This is where masculine polarity stops being a concept and starts being a felt experience. And once a woman feels this combination, she doesn't question it. She relaxes into it, because for the first time, she feels both held and free. And that is the emotional environment where real connection grows. As this balance settles, something important changes in how women respond to you. They stop bracing. They stop second-guessing. They stop scanning for emotional shifts, because your presence has become predictable in the right way. Not predictable in behavior, predictable in stability. Another uncomfortable truth is this: women feel unsafe around men whose emotional state depends on momentum. High when things are good, low when things slow down. That volatility creates uncertainty. Uncertainty blocks desire. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity strengthens when a man remains steady across emotional peaks and valleys. Excitement doesn't pull him forward. Distance doesn't pull him back. He stays where he is. Another uncomfortable realization is that many men lose attraction by trying to match her energy. Energy matching collapses polarity. Polarity requires difference, not mimicry. Another deep truth is that women feel safest when a man does not emotionally chase alignment. Alignment forced feels performative. Alignment allowed feels real. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity is destroyed when a man tries to be emotionally perfect. Perfection signals control. Control feels unsafe. Another deep truth is that attraction deepens when a woman feels she can move emotionally without losing you. Not move away, move freely. Freedom is the soil attraction grows in. Another uncomfortable realization is that men often confuse emotional depth with emotional intensity. Depth is quiet, intensity is loud. Women feel safer in depth. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity grows when a man does not interpret her emotions as instructions. Her mood does not dictate your posture. Another uncomfortable realization is that safety disappears when a man becomes emotionally reactive to her emotional shifts. Reaction signals instability. Another deep truth is that attraction grows when a man remains emotionally neutral but perceptive. You notice, you don't absorb. Another uncomfortable realization is that women feel safest when a man can sit with discomfort without rushing to resolve it. Resolution seeking kills polarity. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity requires emotional patience. Patience communicates confidence in the process. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction fades when a man starts asking emotional questions too early. Questions often come from insecurity, not curiosity. Another deep truth is that women feel safer when a man does not demand emotional clarity. Clarity forced feels intrusive. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity is strongest when you allow silence to exist after intimacy. Silence reveals whether presence is real. Another deep truth is that women feel safest when they are not responsible for maintaining emotional momentum. Responsibility creates pressure. Pressure kills desire. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction grows when a man does not emotionally rush milestones. Rushing reveals fear of loss. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity thrives when a man trusts pacing over progress. Progress obsession destroys polarity. Another uncomfortable realization is that women feel safer when a man's interest is expressed calmly. Calm interest feels chosen. Urgent interest feels needy. Another deep truth is that attraction deepens when a man is selective. Selectivity signals self-worth. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity is weakened by emotional overavailability. Availability without boundaries feels consuming. Another deep truth is that women feel safe when a man's boundaries are consistent and non-reactive. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction survives disagreement when polarity is intact. It dies when polarity collapses. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity does not come from control. It comes from self-leadership. Another uncomfortable realization is that women feel both safe and attracted when they sense you will not abandon yourself to keep them. Self-abandonment is the greatest attraction killer. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity allows a woman to soften without losing respect. Softening feels safe only around structure. Another uncomfortable realization is that many men try to create polarity through unpredictability. Unpredictability creates anxiety, not desire. Another deep truth is that polarity is created through emotional reliability, not chaos. Another uncomfortable realization is that women feel safest when a man's emotional tone is steady even when circumstances change. Another deep truth is that attraction grows when a man can be warm without being porous. Porosity leaks polarity. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity is preserved when a man does not emotionally pursue validation. Validation seeking erodes attraction. Another deep truth is that women feel safe and attracted when they sense they are choosing you freely. Choice is the foundation of desire. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity requires restraint more than expression. Expression disperses energy. Restraint concentrates it. Another deep truth is that when this balance is present, women stop questioning how they feel. They simply feel calm, open, and drawn. Because their nervous system is no longer conflicted, it feels both protected and stimulated. And that state is addictive because it's rare. And it prepares the ground for the final shift. Because once safety and attraction coexist, connection stops being fragile. It becomes stable. And stability is what allows desire to grow instead of burnout. When stability appears, a woman's behavior changes in ways most men don't expect. She stops guarding herself. She stops testing as much. She stops trying to control the emotional direction, because control is only needed when safety is uncertain. Another uncomfortable truth is this: women test men to locate structure, not to challenge it, not to fight it, to find it. Once structure is felt, tests soften into trust. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity allows a woman to relax without becoming bored. Relaxation without polarity becomes dull. Polarity without relaxation becomes exhausting. The combination is rare, and rarity creates value. Another uncomfortable realization is that men often destroy this balance by trying to lock it in. They label too early. They define too fast. They seek certainty to relieve their own anxiety. That urgency fractures polarity. Another deep truth is that women feel safest when connection is allowed to breathe. Breathing room keeps desire alive. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity is not something you assert, it is something you maintain. Maintenance looks like consistency of self. You don't become warmer when she pulls close. You don't become colder when she pulls away. You remain. Another deep truth is that women feel attracted to men who are emotionally available but not emotionally absorbent. Absorbent men lose shape. Shapeless men lose polarity. Another uncomfortable realization is that safety disappears when a man starts anticipating abandonment. Anticipation leaks fear. Fear erodes attraction. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity allows a woman to express uncertainty without you reacting to it. Reaction signals instability. Another uncomfortable realization is that women feel safe when a man's interest does not require management. They don't need to reassure you. They don't need to regulate you. That freedom deepens desire. Another deep truth is that attraction thrives when a man does not seek emotional confirmation. Confirmation seeking makes interest feel conditional. Another uncomfortable realization is that men often sabotage polarity by becoming emotionally strategic. Strategy feels manipulative. Presence feels real. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity grows when you stop trying to get somewhere. Being grounded where you are removes pressure. Another uncomfortable realization is that women feel safest when a man's emotional tone is steady even in disagreement. Disagreement without instability builds respect. Another deep truth is that attraction deepens when a man allows friction without escalation. Escalation signals loss of control. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity exists when you are willing to lose the connection rather than lose yourself. That willingness is felt instantly. Another deep truth is that safety comes from knowing you won't punish her emotionally. No withdrawal, no guilt, no silent resentment. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction grows when a woman senses she is not responsible for your happiness. Responsibility kills desire. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity allows intimacy to deepen without emotional entanglement. Entanglement collapses polarity. Another uncomfortable realization is that men often think they must choose between firmness and warmth. In reality, polarity exists because of both. Another deep truth is that women feel safest when a man can hold his ground without becoming rigid. Rigidity feels dangerous. Flexibility without center feels weak. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity does not come from intensity, it comes from containment. Another deep truth is that containment allows emotion to move freely without destabilizing the connection. Another uncomfortable realization is that women feel attracted when they sense you are choosing them, not needing them. Choice fuels desire. Need suffocates it. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity allows desire to slow down without disappearing. Slowing down is often misunderstood as loss of attraction. It is not. It is integration. Another uncomfortable realization is that men who panic when things slow destroy what was becoming real. Another deep truth is that safety and attraction coexist when you trust the process. Trust removes urgency. Urgency destroys polarity. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity allows a woman to feel both excitement and peace. That dual state is rare, and rarity is magnetic. Another deep truth is that once this balance is felt, women stop oscillating between closeness and distance because their nervous system no longer needs to regulate. Another uncomfortable realization is that most men never experience this level of connection, not because women are confusing, but because men abandon their center too early. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity is not about doing, it is about being consistent under pressure. And once that consistency is felt, connection stops feeling fragile. It becomes grounded. And grounded connection is where desire matures instead of burning out. Which leads to the final realization. Because safety and attraction together don't just create chemistry, they create longevity. At the deepest level, making a woman feel safe and attracted is not about her at all. It's about who you are when nothing is guaranteed. Safety comes from knowing you won't collapse under emotional pressure. Attraction comes from knowing you won't chase it. Both are created by the same thing: self-leadership. Most men try to create polarity by changing their behavior. But polarity is not behavioral, it is structural. It comes from an internal position that does not shift based on approval, distance, or uncertainty. Another uncomfortable truth is this: women do not feel safe around men who need outcomes. Outcome dependence creates tension. Tension makes her nervous system alert. Alert systems don't relax into desire. Another deep truth is that attraction deepens when a woman feels she is choosing you freely. Freedom only exists when you are not emotionally dependent on her choice. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity is strongest when you are willing to lose the connection rather than abandon yourself. That willingness is felt as strength. Another deep truth is that safety is not softness. It is predictability of character. She knows who you are under pressure. She knows you won't shift to keep her. That certainty feels grounding. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction does not come from excitement. It comes from containment of desire. Desire that is contained feels powerful. Desire that spills feels needy. Another deep truth is that when safety and attraction coexist, a woman stops trying to manage the connection. She stops pulling away. She stops testing as much because her nervous system feels regulated around you. Another uncomfortable realization is that men who master masculine polarity don't try to make women feel anything. They simply remain themselves, and that constancy does the work. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity allows intimacy to deepen without losing tension. Depth without tension becomes flat. Tension without depth becomes unstable. Polarity holds both. Another uncomfortable realization is that women feel safest when they know your presence is not conditional on their behavior. Conditional presence feels transactional. Unconditional self-possession feels secure. Another deep truth is that attraction fades fastest when men become emotionally invested in keeping it. Investment turns into pressure. Pressure kills desire. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity is not about control. It's about restraint. Restraint of reaction, restraint of emotion, restraint of urgency. Another deep truth is that restraint allows a woman to move closer without fear. Fear only exists when a man feels unpredictable. Another uncomfortable realization is that safety grows when a man does not emotionally punish distance. No coldness, no withdrawal, no resentment, just steadiness. Another deep truth is that attraction grows when a woman senses she is not responsible for your emotional state. Responsibility kills romance. Another uncomfortable realization is that masculine polarity makes women feel held without being trapped. That balance is rare. Another deep truth is that once a woman feels both safe and desired, she does not question the connection. She relaxes into it, and relaxation is where desire becomes sustainable. Another uncomfortable realization is that most men never reach this point because they try to perform masculinity instead of living it. Another deep truth is that masculine polarity does not require constant effort. Effort destroys it. It requires removal. Removal of fear, removal of urgency, removal of need. Another uncomfortable realization is that when you remove those things, safety and attraction arise naturally. Not because you tried, but because nothing inside you is asking for permission. Another deep truth is that this is why some men feel calming and exciting at the same time, because their internal state is calm and their boundaries create tension. Another uncomfortable realization is that once you master this, relationships stop feeling confusing. You no longer chase closeness. You no longer fear distance. You remain. And remaining is what creates polarity. Now, if this video helped you understand how safety and attraction actually work together and why masculine polarity is the bridge between them, there is one video you should watch next. Because once polarity is established, you need to understand what happens when it's disrupted. That's exactly what I break down in my video called The Dark Psychology Behind Why She Pulls Away. That video explains why distance appears, what it's really testing, and how your reaction determines whether attraction deepens or disappears. Watch that next, because when you combine grounded polarity with the ability to handle pullbacks correctly, connection stops feeling fragile, it becomes stable. And stable attraction is the kind that lasts.